Let's move ahead to what we have going on this weekend because it is, of course, is another monument. Liege-Bastogne-Liege, La Doyenne, that means the old lady. This is the oldest cycling race on the books. First raced in 1892. That edition was, of course, won by Alejandro Valverde, and he has gone on to win many more editions in the years since. Gregor, the men are racing 260 kilometers. They have 4,200 meters of climbing. That comes out to about 14,000 feet. The women do 140K. They have 2,140 meters of climbing, or around 7,000 feet. Tell me, what are we in for? What are we expecting?
Well, yeah, it's a long race. A race with such, historical significance. It'd normally be the fourth monument on the calendar, as you pointed out, Michael. We didn't have the Roubaix this year, so it's the third monument this year. 5, we got Lombardia there in the fall. I would never call a lady an old lady, so I don't know how the race got that nickname. But the riders go down to Bastogne and then back up to Liège, and it's as we've had it for the last couple of years. We now have this finish in the Liège center where it starts, which is much more exciting and tactical, like we've seen Amstel Gold change tactics recently. Is finish without doing the finish up to Ans like it used to at Liège, with a hilltop outside of town, which was getting kind of predictable. Now, this race, it's going to be, again, Valverde's has history there, has done well there in the past, won the race, and this is going to be his last time as a 41-year-old. We're lining up for that race. Of course, we got another rider on the team, Matteo Jorgensen, who will be supporting him, so that's great to see for the American out there as well on the day. And it's another race where we're going to see a lot of those Grand Tour riders like your Schachmann, your Primoz Roglic up in the mix for this race. So it should be pretty exciting viewing as they're racing through the French Ardennes, Michael.
Yeah, and do keep an eye on Matteo Jorgensen, the American. Not only will he be racing alongside Alejandro Valverde, who has won the race, I believe, 3 times. His first win is in 2006, actually. His most recent in 2017. So a very good span for Valverde. But American Matteo Jorgensen alongside Valverde racing for Movistar will be supplying FloBikes some vlogs. If you have not been keeping track of Matteo's vlogs, he has been pointing his camera around, sharing his experience at the races. It's a really cool POV look into what this super talented guy is doing and how the European racing is going for him. So keep an eye on the site. We're going to be getting vlogs from him for both Flesh and Liege-Bastogne-Liege. Anyways, let's go into what happened in 2020. 2020 women's race was won by Lizzie Deignan. She went on an absolute raid, a long-range solo attack, over 30 kilometers solo. On the day, the race just completely blew up behind her. Grace Brown, the Australian, got a really big victory, or not a big victory, but it was one of her first really big results, finishing second on the day. Then the men's race was pretty incredible. It's a really hilly, kind of punchy. The race usually explodes about 15K out from the finish. As you said, Gregor, they finish in town, and just like Amstel, it creates a pretty dynamic finish. If you have a hilltop finish, it ends up being kind of like Flesh, where Philippe Gilbert wins every single year. But Liège, much more unpredictable. Last year, Julian Alaphilippe was the one who ripped the race apart. He was in a lead group with Primoz Roglic, Mark Hirschi, and Tadej Pogačar. Kind of all these guys were coming off of the Tour de France last year, went to Liège and were absolutely flying. Matej Mohoric, he did an incredible ride. In the final kilometer, he bridged up from the chasing group, which was being led by Mathieu van der Poel, caught the leaders, and tried to win. Didn't work out for him. He ended up finishing 5th there, technically 4th. But we aren't going to see that from Matej Mohoric this year. We may not see him ever win a bike race again because the UCI have ruled out any aero positions, and that's kind of how Matej Mohoric races. He gets aero, goes faster than everybody else. It's a joy to watch. We've gone over who is going to be there a little bit. Alejandro Valverde, like you said, it's his birthday. He is going to try to win a 4th time at Liège.
41.
41. That would be quite incredible. And what we saw him do at Amstel Gold, I have no reason to think that he can't get the win. He was attacking, bridging up. I think he got 5th at Amstel behind Michael Matthews. Riding incredibly well, the evergreen Alejandro Valverde, as the commentators so often say. Who else is going to be there, Gregor?
Well, I mean, you need to think about Michael Woods, who said on Sunday, Amstel Gold Race wasn't really his type of race, that, more of the Flèche Wallonne, Liege-Bastogne-Liege, Primoz Roglic, these guys that it'd be interesting to see if Mark Hirschi is going to be coming better and better as he kind of finds his feet in Team UAE Emirates. So those riders, because these riders are the riders, like Michael Woods will go on to the Tournament Romandie later on. He's building it for the Tour de France. So a lot of these riders are the Grand Tour riders that are in there. Of course, Max Schachmann. And Schachmann, you saw, he was also in like a tuck position on Sunday in the race, but it wasn't a super tuck. I think he'd kept his rear end on the tip of the saddle. Must be uncomfortable. And so these type of riders and are in the bunch. Of course, watch out for Ineos as well, who performed so well in the Amstel Gold Race, playing the numbers. So I think they're going to be motivated by that, even if they didn't come away with the win. Tom Pidcock is racing on Wednesday. He won't be racing on Sunday in the old women's race. But let's not call it.
That is a bad translation. That is not what we are calling that race. Okay.
No.
Yeah, got to keep an eye on Mike Woods for Liege. He did finish 2nd in 2018. It was to Bob Jungels. Unfortunately, Bob Jungels will not be racing due to a concussion he sustained crashing at Amstel Gold Race.